This is Katie, co-host of Coffee with Keith and Katie. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey everyone, welcome to Beauties and Headcanons, where we're nerdy and you probably are too. This is Lindsay, and I'm here today with Emily and Elizabeth, and we're here to talk nerdy to you. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to download and subscribe to Beauties and Headcanons so you never miss our nerd talk again.
It's our 50th episode today, and this episode is brought to you by Squadcast. As podcasters who all live in different states and time zones, one of the most important things when we record together, which we always do remotely, is the quality of our audio. Current solutions like Skype, which we have used in the past, and Zoom are dependent on the internet quality. Squadcast is a simple browser-based tool that requires no additional software to install. The audio is recorded locally as high-quality WAV files, then magically uploaded to the guest's computer. We've been using them for a few weeks now and love the experience. To get started, go to squadcast.fm to start your free 14-day trial. That's squadcast.fm for your 14-day free trial.
So it's the summer, and now is the time where we have to kind of catch up on our fandoms and what we're doing and all of the things that interest us. And as nerds, we each have something different that we're doing. We realized between Emily, Elizabeth, and myself, we all have very different interests and very different things that we're trying to catch up on and trying to be immersed in for the summer. So today's episode is about that. We're going to tell you what we're up to, and maybe you can give us some suggestions as to what you think we should be up to instead. So we're going to start out with Elizabeth, and we're going to talk a little bit about what each of us is doing.
All right. Well, I'm actually doing a few different things right now. I usually have at least a few different things going at once. I am a big gamer, obviously, but, playing Skyrim, it does kind of get a little bit repetitive. So I always kind of go back and forth between actually playing Skyrim and playing around with different mods in Skyrim. And what I'm actually doing right now is what I've kind of termed preset tweaking, which is I take different presets for some of the different races, and even with my cosmetic mods that I have installed, some of them, I hesitate to say ugly necessarily, but they really don't look, they don't look that great. And so I take them and I tweak them to make them just look nice. I don't necessarily have to make all the women look like, these bombshells, or the guys look like this, really gorgeous hunks. But, I just kind of to kind of make them look better. And if anybody's interested in my results, I do post them on my Instagram. You can follow me there at _Imadilla. I post the before and the after, as well as like the armor and everything that I end up putting them in. So if you're ever interested in any of that, you can go check me out there.
Nice. That's really cool, actually. That's one of my favorite parts of making characters like games like Skyrim. And my husband is like always amazed because I tend to do a nice job, and he's like, "Oh, you make your people look normal."
The same thing with my husband too. Like, he always has me, like, sometimes he'll do it by himself, but then he'll go back and have me like tweak it here and there.
Yeah.
Like, can you fix this or make this a little bit better? I don't know what it is. Like, I just, I like doing it. So whenever I have a particularly creative streak and I'm not interested in playing out certain quests, I usually just go back and start playing around with the presets and just have fun with that.
Nice. Yeah.
So I have a question. When you're, as someone who doesn't play Skyrim, if I were coming into a game and playing that character with you, would I be able to see the changes that you made? Is that a certain modulator that I would need, or some kind of software to be able to see the changes?
Unfortunately, I mean, I can like share screenshots, but since I don't have a computer, I can't like upload the presets for anybody else to use. That is something to like think about in the future whenever I get like a gaming computer and maybe possibly get into a little bit of modding myself. I could, maybe one of these days upload these presets that other people can use, or maybe even make them like followers so that people can, go and recruit them and use them in their own adventures. But that's
cool.
Sometime in the future.
So it's like when you're playing Sims and you just like to change the way that people look.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Sorry, not a gamer.
It's all right. No worries.
Hey, gaming's not for everybody. I totally admit that. I mean,
a long time ago, maybe, but
yeah. The second kind of large thing that I'm doing now, instead of continuing Doctor Who, which I really should be getting on, but for whatever reason, like, I don't know. I
need to do that too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's not that I don't like it. It's not that I've fallen out of it. It's just that, I just need a little bit of a break. And during that break, I've been watching this cartoon that it comes on Disney XD called Avengers Assemble. Mm-hmm. And my gosh, you guys, like, this blows like 99% of the MCU out of the water for me. Like,
wow.
No joke. Like all of the storylines that they do, they do like have some callbacks to the MCU, like different moments or lines, but like all of the storylines that they've done that the MCU has addressed similarly, like to me, they've handled it far better. Far better. And I mean, I know it's animated and it's a TV show, but honestly, these storylines and the things that they do, they aren't super complicated, I don't think. I mean, it is also a kid's show too. So, I mean, they're not going to get all that mature or anything, but like just the way that they handle it, I'm sitting there watching it and thinking, why couldn't they have done this in the MCU? Like this would have been so much better,
Oh, that's cool. Like, since all I know of the Avengers is the stuff from the movies, I'd really love to learn more about the actual comic storylines too. And it actually sounds like something my daughter would love to watch. She loved it when I made an Avengers shirt for her. When we went to see Incredibles 2, she wore this shirt for like 3 days straight. Yeah, she did not want to take it off. I finally had to like tell her to wash it.
But yeah, that's definitely if you're into comics or if you're into Marvel or anything like that, it's a great show to get into. I kind of would like to compare it to the early 90s X-Men cartoon, and how they kind of address the different comic storylines and how they did that. It's just as well done, honestly.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen the X-Men stuff, but that's really cool though.
And then my last thing that I'm kind of doing right now, I know a lot of people know that I'm a writer, but I'm not writing right now, because this month is July's Camp Nano. And I know probably a lot of you are thinking, what is Camp Nano? Camp Nano is an offshoot of NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month. Mm-hmm. NaNoWriMo takes place every November, and the goal is to write a 50,000 word story in that month.
Okay, yeah, so I have a friend who does this too in November, and it did take me a while to figure out what it actually means. She posts like her progress with daily word count and everything, so it's cool to see the progress.
One of, writers' problems is, you start writing and then you start editing while you're writing and then you get stuck and you never finish. So the whole point of NaNoWriMo is to just power through and finish a story and then, worry about going back and editing and fixing it later, So it's just kind of to give you that push.
Okay.
And the people behind NaNoWriMo, they run 2 camps during the earlier part of the year, one in April and one in July. And the Camp Nano is a lot more relaxed in the goals. So like, NaNoWriMo is like a set 50,000 word goal and, you can't change it. But in Camp Nano, you can choose your own goal. So if you want to write, say, a 35,000 word story, you can put that in as your goal and work towards that. Or if you want to do something a little different, like if you want to write a certain number of pages or you can put that in as your goal. If you write poetry and say you want to write a certain number of lines, you can put in a line goal.
Cool.
For me, this July, I want to plan out this massive fix-it story for Lord of the Rings. But, I mean, as most people know, Lord of the Rings is a very complex story. There's lots of things going on in it. So it's going to require a lot of planning. So I have 3 books. I have the trilogy, the 3 books, and then I have this wonderful atlas that I bought that was recommended to me. It is called The Atlas of Middle Earth. It is by Karen Wynne Fonstad, and honestly, you guys, this is the best thing ever. The thing that makes it even better than anything else I've read is this was actually made by a fan.
Cool. Oh, that's really awesome.
That when she set out making it, she honestly didn't have any plans on publishing it or, doing anything to get money from it. It was just a labor of love just because she wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that makes it so much better because, I mean, when you do something out of a love for something, I mean, you really pour everything into it. Whereas if you're getting paid to do it, it's like, well, I can maybe curb some edges here. But I have all of these resources and I have a goal to spend 60 hours researching, reading, and making notes and plotting for this story. And that comes out to spending about 2 hours a day doing it, which I think I think it's attainable for having a 2-year-old and then doing, everything else that I'm doing.
Yeah, that is definitely doable for you. And especially for something digging deep into something so complex like Tolkien's world, 2 hours a day isn't bad at all for doing research into that. I'm really interested actually to see how things turn out, and I'm sure that doing all of your research is totally going to be worth it. It's just, you have to do it though. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if people read the story, they're like gonna, I'm hoping it's just gonna flow and people aren't really gonna think about it, but. I mean, there's going to be so much work that goes into this. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, but it's going to be great too, because when people that are like really intense fans read your stuff, you'll have done enough background work that they won't question it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Because like then they'll be able to read it without like feeling like it doesn't make sense in the universe, and you'll have done such an awesome job that it'll fit right in, I think. All right, so let's get into what I've been doing lately. So I need to clarify just to make sure everyone understands what I'm gonna tell you that I've been doing and things lately. I don't do all of these every single day. That would be craziness because I don't have that much time in a day. So I'm gonna tell you about these things, but I don't do all of them every single day. I do them maybe like once or twice a week, if that. Some of these things I haven't even done in like a month. So still in progress with them, but I haven't finished them yet. So I'm mentioning them because I'm still going to be continuing with them. Right now I'm playing through Civ 5 with my husband, Paul, and his sister. We play on Civvy Saturdays, and we play it on his Twitch channel called For Deodatus. I can put a link in the show notes for you. Right now, he's trying to get to affiliate status on Twitch, so that's pretty fun. We have a good time.
What does affiliate mean?
So affiliate is Twitch's incentive program where if you get 50 followers or more and like 3 average viewers or more per stream, then you'll get some extra income, and you'll get to have subscribers to your channel, which means a little bit more income at that point as well. So a little extra cash by playing video games. It's pretty good. So that's what he's working towards right now. And playing Civ isn't 100% my favorite game necessarily, but I love my husband and he loves playing Civ, so we'll play it together because it's fun for him and I enjoy it. It's just like, not my favorite. I wouldn't play it all alone necessarily, but it's a good time. And so he's like super into the strategy and strategery side of things. And I just kind of play however I feel like and hope it turns out okay. So it's interesting to see how things pan out when I just kind of make random moves and my husband's like planning out future and stuff like that. Yeah. So, well, right now, so you can in Civ you can play as a different nation. So each person in the game plays a different nation. So it's everybody discovering the map and building their civilizations essentially. And I'm playing as the Polynesians, which means that my people can sail or embark without actually having researched sailing all that detailed. And so it's pretty cool. And
Oh, that's cool.
every nation is different too. But I can like discover like everything on the map before most people have.
Give you a little advantage.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So then I can kind of stake out where I want to put my next cities and things like that. But like other nations have advantages in culture or in military things or in religion or, just a lot of different things where they like maybe they build structures really fast. So that's kind of the cool thing about Civ. But my husband also just got into Civ 6, the next iteration of the same game. And he's really, really liking that. So we might end up switching to Civ 6. We'll see. But he loves it so far. So that's cool. Another game that I'm working on is learning and getting better at League of Legends. And this is going to be a long process. If you don't know what League of Legends is, I've mentioned it before on the show. It's a MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena, where you play 5 versus 5. And each person plays a different champion, and the champion has different skills, and they have different roles to play in the game. So right now, I mostly play support because that's actually helping me to learn and understand how to play the game better. I've watched a lot of gameplay, but I don't necessarily understand every detail that's going on. So playing support helps me kind of take a back seat a little bit so that I can see the like macro gameplay happening and the micro gameplay from that perspective. I've also played top lane and ADC a little bit, but those roles are a little bit harder to learn at first. So support is easier to learn at first, but harder to perfect overall. So it's going to be a long road if I want to main as a support, but eventually I might pick up different roles and see how things go. I've actually been playing with my husband a lot and with one of our other streamer friends who's really, really good at the game. And so he knows what he's doing. The playing League without people that you know already can be pretty frustrating because a lot of people take the game way too seriously, especially if they've been playing for so long that they forgot what it's like to be new at the game. And so they tend to be really, really mean. And it's not all that fun unless there's someone there who's got your back. So I really appreciate playing with my husband and our friend. It's a lot of fun. Actually, this past week started Rift Rivals with the pro teams. So that's been pretty cool. It's where like the North American teams and the European teams, Korean teams, they all kind of face off against each other.
I used to play Rift, I think.
That's been fun.
I think so.
Is that a game? Oh, well, because actually Summoner's Rift is the arena that League of Legends is set in for most of the games.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So it actually is still League of Legends, the game, but Rift Rivals means it's in Summoner's Rift. So most of the League games are there. So that's why it's called that. But anywho, it's been fun and I'm really enjoying it so far. So last game that I'm kind of playing through right now is a Dungeons and Dragons campaign based on the Elder Scrolls Oblivion game. Ooh. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. My husband is the dungeon master, and I'm playing a halfling rogue. Well, I was playing a halfling rogue until I got killed. We were battling a boss, and one of our friends was playing the boss as an NPC, and one of our other friends in the party did not hit her skill spell very well, and the boss did, and I ended up dying. So that was great. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen next. If I just completely make a new character and just hop in the game and join the party again somehow, or if I just become my character's twin and just change my name and just be like, hey guys, my twin is here now, so this is who I am. I don't know. We'll see, but it's been a lot of fun. And it's been cool because you can kind of know what to expect as far as the storyline goes because it's based on Oblivion. But you can also, there's stuff that my husband will throw in just for funsies. And we get to like talk with our friends that we haven't seen for a long time because they're in Wisconsin and we're in Washington. So Washington State, to clarify. But anywho, we'll see what happens with my character. I don't know.
Resurrected?
Oh, I mean, maybe she could be.
It works in Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah. Oh, well, if it works with the lore, then it would just have to be up to my husband since he's the DM and he's the grand master of the game. But yeah, that would be cool because then I don't have to rewrite a character. So I don't know. We'll see. So now onto things I've been watching. More recently, I have gotten back into watching Stargate Atlantis. I'm just starting season 5 right now, which I'm really enjoying. It's just a really great series overall and a great continuation of Stargate SG-1. It's got some crossover characters as well. It has Kaylee from Firefly as one of the doctors in it. It also has Jason Momoa, who was in his younger years. He's like in his 30s in the show. And he's also known as Khal Drogo or Aquaman. He's going to have an Aquaman movie coming in December of this year, so that's going to be fun. My husband and I also just started watching The Expanse together. He watched season 1 of it, but we just restarted it all over and we just started season 2. And it has Thomas Jane in it, who was the Punisher in the 2004 movie, The Punisher.
That was the best Punisher movie ever.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen it. I actually didn't pay much attention to like Marvel movies or anything.
Yeah, it's definitely like the best Punisher movie.
Awesome. I might have to check that one out because he's a really good actor in The Expanse, and so I think that should be really cool to see too. Also, I think John Travolta's the villain in that one, so that'd be cool. Also, my husband and I are rewatching Chuck for the second time around. We love Chuck. It's great. It's just a happy show, and it also has Adam Baldwin from Firefly. He's Jane from Firefly in it, and that is just super great. It's awesome. So, yeah. We also recently went to see Incredibles 2, and we took our oldest daughter. She's 4, and she absolutely loved it so much. She was like on the edge of her seat the entire time. It was so cute. Yeah,
I still haven't seen it yet, so.
Ooh, okay. Well, I won't give anything away for your sake, Lizzie. But I just know that I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. We watched it, I think, around Father's Day, and we loved it. So
nice. Yeah, I can't remember exactly which day. I think it was a Saturday for sure, but it might have been the Saturday after Father's Day, maybe the one before. I don't know, but anyways, we really loved it. Also, we recently watched Spider-Man: Homecoming, and that one was like super good. I was kind of surprised, but I had heard very good things about it. So, and I knew I wanted to see it to begin with. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming. I thought it was just really, really well done.
This was that movie that actually made me like really fall in love with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like not that I didn't like him before, but I was just kind of completely neutral on him, and now I'm like, oh yes, I love Spider-Man.
Nice. Yeah, I could totally see that though. I mean, I was kind of the only Spider-Mans I had seen were the other 3, and I don't know if it was Tom Holland's acting or what, the story writing. I don't know. Something just made it really good.
Well, I mean, my previous only real experience with Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire, which
yeah, especially that third movie.
So,
like that one went to a weird place.
Yeah, that was so weird.
All right, and one of the last things here, I'm almost done. I promise. Like I said, I don't do all of these every single day. I'm reading Ready Player One, and I'm almost done with it. Finally, I have just a few more chapters left, and I love how different the book and the movie are, but they still accomplish the same story. It's so great. The book is so good, like way better than the movie, but the movie is still great. Like I just really like how detailed the book gets, and also like how the movie makes itself a movie and doesn't take away from the book. So I just love the book though. It's just so good. So good.
Of course, the book is always better.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the truth. But what I love is that the movie doesn't even like give spoilers really about the book either, except for like the end kind of. But even then, it's just, I don't know, both of them are just so well done. It's great. All right, last thing, something that I've been thinking about for a while is starting a Twitch stream, having my own channel on Twitch. I already have a Twitch like account and things, and so if you tune in on my husband's Twitch, you'll hear him refer to Roses. That's me, and my Twitch name is Roses in Bloom 528, so you can find me there. But I'm thinking about maybe just having my own stream where I can just hop on and play some games while the kids are asleep. I mean, that's pretty much the only time I'll be able to play games is when they're asleep. So, I might do that. But my husband's Twitch, I'll be on there sometimes playing games with him, like when I play Civ with him or when I play League of Legends with him. Or maybe you'll just see me in the background of his video stream doing things, or just making random comments while he's playing games. You might even see me like working on my random sewing projects in the background of his stream too. So sometimes I'll be in there. But I'm hoping to very soon start my own.
So I've only got a few things that I'm doing right now. I work a lot of late nights at work, so I've been trying to catch up and get closer to the Netflix Marvel television shows that are on. I did it out of order, though. So I was really interested in Jessica Jones, so I did season 1 and season 2 right when season 2 came out, which was very recently. And I decided then I wanted to watch Luke Cage. So I watched Luke Cage season 1. But I still haven't seen Daredevil season 1 or season 2.
Yes.
That's where I'm going next.
Okay. Good,
I know I haven't. I've been told I need to, and I have Iron Fist on my list.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, okay, Daredevil is so good. I've kind of half watched it, and with my sister-in-law, and from what I've seen, it's a great mix of like nerdy drama and humor. Like the characters are so good from what I can tell. So
yeah, I know nothing about it, to be completely honest. So the movie also was something I never wanted to watch. So I'm starting Daredevil this week, literally. When this airs, I will most likely have watched a couple of episodes. We'll see.
Okay.
So Daredevil season 1, Daredevil season 2, Iron Fist, and
I've heard things about Iron Fist. I'm not really sure about it. I don't know.
I kind of watch everything. I want to watch everything just to get to that point where I can say, okay, I've watched everything. But I have to really get my Marvel fix in other ways. And I think it's really cool that there's this other element that's going on while everything is going on with the Avengers. So obviously I also want to watch Defenders at the end of all of it. And Luke Cage season 2 just came out. But I'm going to wait to watch that because I haven't seen anything else yet either. So Iron Fist, Defenders, I'm missing something. Punisher, Cloak and Dagger is coming out soon. That we're seeing.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Commercials for that now as well. And I'm certain that I'm missing something. Iron Fist, Luke Cage. Anyway, I'm trying to watch everything and get all up to date on that. And in the meantime, trying to also get some costumes and some cosplays ready for my daughter and I, because Wizard World in Chicago is going to be at the end of August, right before school starts for her again. So it's August 23rd to the 27th, and that's in Rosemont, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And it originally was a Chicago convention for comics, so just a comic book convention. But they haven't had any real DC or Marvel representation in the past few years. They've been going more on the wrestling and television show genre for their guests and for the people that are coming and exhibiting there. So this year it does look like there's a good mix of both things. And I think it'd be really fun to get my daughter into cosplay a little bit more. I'm trying to find a good idea for a costume for her, and it's going to be a surprise. So any of you guys who know her or have seen her, if you can give me suggestions, I think I'm working on getting her a Captain Marvel costume right now, because she's in that weird puberty state where things need to be covered up, but I still want her to be proud of herself and proud of her body. So it's very different for me. I've got all kinds of ideas in my head where I've got a Valkyrie costume for myself and Agent Carter.
Yeah.
So I've got several ideas that I'm bouncing around and trying to figure out. And we also do steampunk conventions around this time of year as well. So the Bristol Renaissance Fair, which is close by, has a steampunk weekend that we're going to be going to. And for those of you that don't know, steampunk is a genre of science fiction that's got like a historical setting and usually features like steam-powered machinery rather than advanced technology. So instead of computers...
Oh, so kind of like in a Victorian style.
Yeah. So it's got a historical setting to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Victorian. It can be, Romanian. It can be Germany. It can be, but it's usually a historical time and place in the past, but with an advancement of steam technology.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So Aurelia's got I
love it.
Ariel, My Little Mermaid, as a submarine captain concept.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
And I'm doing Aunt Ursula, but I still need to come up with a couple more advancements on that. So, black puffy dress, long. I'm going to do a long light purple wig.
Cool.
I need concepts. So, any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. It's something that we've only recently gotten into, but I love the camaraderie and the community of those groups of people. So dressing up, when it's not Halloween, I suppose, is really what we're into over here.
Nice. No, that's super fun.
Right.
You can do it as many times as you want.
Other than that, we're really just trying to catch up on everything. If I could just have a week off where I can do Doctor Who and buy a few comic books, and there's just not enough time in the day.
That's just mom life, though. It is.
What's really cool is when you can raise a nerd, when you realize that you're raising yourself, and you can really come up with things that the two of you can do together and nerd out about together. And now my daughter's finally getting to that age where we can do those things together and they not be super lame for me and little kiddish stuff, but at the same time, age appropriate for her.
Yeah, and my daughter's getting into stuff too.
I know.
She's so young yet that some of it isn't quite appropriate for her. Like, yeah. Right. She would love it though.
Yeah, but it's also important to be a kid at heart, and most nerds are. We're able to immerse ourselves in these different universes and different concepts. So advancing those things that we're so used to as children into adult hobbies and adult fandoms or nerddoms is a little different, but still the same. It's still something we can enjoy together ourselves, but also with our families and our children as well.
And that's so what makes it so cool, because it is pretty family friendly for the most part, and it kind of like bonds us together.
All right. Well, thanks for getting nerdy with us today. So why don't you talk nerdy to us? What nerdy things have you guys been up to lately? Find Beauties and Headcanons on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr to share your nerdy topic suggestions. Subscribe to this podcast and others from Public House Media on iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and wherever good podcasts are found. Also, don't forget, we do have a store at thephmedia.com. Just click on the store tab, and we have all kinds of merch there so that you can rep our show no matter where you are. We also love feedback, so if you like this episode, or even if you didn't, just give us a rating and a review so we can keep on making great episodes for you. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Emily.
And I'm Lindsay. And thanks for getting nerdy with us today on Beauties and Headcanons.